Brushing your teeth and flossing your teeth can be a little bit of a pain. I'd be the first to admit that. It takes time and effort. So the Waterpik Sonic-Fusion may well be the answer to your needs because it combines a water flosser and a toothbrush in one and can potentially save you a lot of effort in the process of cleaning your teeth. I've been testing it for a few weeks and I'm here to give you my opinions on it. So whilst conceptually the Sonic-Fusion flossing toothbrush is a good idea, unfortunately in practice I think it's better to stick to two separates, a separate water flosser and electric toothbrush. Unfortunately here you have to pay a premium to get a product that unfortunately doesn't work as well as the two separates in my opinion. So continue watching to find out a little bit more of why I feel this way. Now a quick disclaimer, the product I'm actually holding up here is the American version of the Sonic-Fusion flosser. There's a few small differences, notably colour and the fact it's American Dental Association approved. Quick disclaimer, I'm just using it for demonstration purposes. The facts and information you hear in this video stand true for the UK. It's just the demonstration purposes of the product I'm holding here. Let's start off by explaining the concept of the Sonic-Fusion toothbrush. Basically, you can have an electric toothbrush and a water flosser. A water flosser is a really handy tool to help you with your interdental cleaning regime. And generally, you have a unit with a water tank that pushes water out at pressure through a little jet tip that you can move around your mouth and clean those interdental spaces. And of course, you have an electric toothbrush, which uses for cleaning all the main tooth surfaces and gum surfaces within your mouth. The Sonic-Fusion combines the both into one unit, which should hopefully bring more convenience. It doesn't, unfortunately, and let me explain why. But before I do, let me explain about the two different models. There's an SF01 and an SF02 professional model. The professional model in theory offers a little bit more and you pay a premium for it. The SF01 comes in at around about £170 compared to the 200 of the SF02. Now there's very little difference between the two, to be fair. They look a little bit different aesthetically and their overall dimensions. The SF02 is a little bit smaller overall. The SF02 has two brush heads included in the box compared to the one with the cheaper SF01. Weirdly, the SF02 has a smaller reservoir than the SF01. There's not much in it, only about 20 millilitres, so don't get too concerned. But that's primarily the main differences between the two units. I think it's the professional that's going to be around more often, or you'll see advertised more often, but either way, they're both essentially the same product with very minimal differences. So I kind of try and look at this in two sort of parts. In the day-to-day usability, it does the job, it works. And just fortunately, I don't think it's as good as the two separates because it's just a bit more cumbersome. If I look at this from an electric toothbrush point of view, yes, it cleans the teeth fairly well. It's a sonic action cleaning toothbrush, so like a Philips Sonicare toothbrush. I felt that my teeth were clean after use. It has a 2-minute timer and pacer built in. It also has an automatic power off feature. It feels quite good in hand, it's grippy, it feels a little bit cheap, not quite the same high-end premium materials as some other electric toothbrushes. It's a little bit bulky in hand as well, but that's in part because of the design, because it's essentially got to allow the water flow through the unit for the flossing action. Now you can use the electric toothbrush completely independent of the base station, you don't need the hose connected to it. When in action, the brush is actually really loud. It produces this sort of high-pitched noise, which is much louder than a Philips Sonicare brush and is different to the more mechanical sound of Oral-B. I didn't really like the sound at all. I found it quite grating, in fact. And that's also infuriating because the electric toothbrush has a nickel metal hydride battery built in that only offers 7 days of battery life. Now most electric toothbrushes today offer 2 weeks of battery life as a general minimum. So 7 days felt pretty poor considering the sort of size of the handle in hand. Has detachable replaceable brush heads, obviously you have to replace those every 3 months. A pack of those comes in at a bit of a higher price than most electric toothbrush heads. So a pack of 2 usually costs around about 16, 17, 18 pounds, so around about £8.50, £9 per brush head, which is more expensive than both Philips Sonicare and Oral-B, so something to consider in the overall ownership cost of this unit. As a water flosser, it does work. This has a 420ml water tank on here, so depending on the pressure setting you select, it depends on how much usage time you get from it. So you have 10 pressure settings, 0 to 10, so that's 10 to 100 psi, and you get anywhere from about 85 to 200 odd seconds from the actual usage time of the water flosser. So you can fill this tank up once, maybe get 1, 2, or maybe even 3 flossing sessions from it. When you're using the product, you can use it in a couple of ways. You can use it as just a flosser, just an electric toothbrush, or combined. Now, when you're using it as a water flosser, the detachable hose has to be connected to the toothbrush handle, and that feeds the water up through and out through the specialized brush head, which controls the water flow into the mouth. Now, in comparison to a regular water flosser, you don't have the same level of control in terms of the water flow. It feels a bit kind of clunky. Although you get the added benefit of the bristles skimming over the teeth and gums to help wash away and brush away plaque and debris, I quite like on a regular water flosser you've got more precise control with the smaller tips, which you certainly don't have with the brush head attachment here. It just feels a bit more awkward and cumbersome. Now, you've got full 360-degree rotation because the hose that connects into the handle rotates. You're not limited in that respect, but being a larger brush handle, it's just more awkward to use. And when you're flossing, you have to be leant over the sink. Now, there is the mode that combines the flossing and toothbrushing, which is different, but again, you have to be leant over the sink for that. Overall, the unit actually feels quite well built. The water flosser element felt better built than the toothbrush handle, in my opinion. The materials are pretty good overall. I think the toothbrush handle lets it down a little bit, but the colour options can make it look quite smart. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, and Waterpik are pretty good in terms of their quality of products and reliability. So I'm perhaps nitpicking a little bit, but there's a lot of choice for consumers out there today, and I think the likes of Sonicare do a better job on the sort of quality, fit and finish, and probably outpace Waterpik a little bit there. So as I mentioned, this premium option has a retail price of £200. You're generally going to be able to pick it up with about £20 to £30 off, so a little bit of saving there. When you price it over a 3-year period, including a cost of replacement brush heads, you're looking around about 24 pence per day. You could maybe get a bit more value from it by sharing this with another user. But when you compare this to the individual cost of an electric toothbrush or a separate water flosser, you'll actually find that it's cheaper to buy the 2 items separately than it is to buy them together, and then you get the added benefits that the individual items give. So buy a separate electric toothbrush and you get a longer battery life and maybe a few more features, and you buy the separate water flosser and you get the increased access and control to your teeth with the jet tips and things that come included. My personal recommendation would be go for the Oral-B Pro 2 2500 and then the Waterpik WP 660. Those together are a winning combination for your oral health. I should also note there is a travel case provided with this model, so you can store the toothbrush and up to 2 brush heads should you travel with it. The unit itself has a 2-pin plug suitable for UK bathrooms. The voltage is international support, so you just need a plug adapter to use it in the relevant countries. But the reality of the situation is you're not going to travel with the base station, which you need to charge the toothbrush because it's just so bulky. So if you do travel, bear in mind that 7-day battery life you get from the toothbrush. If you're going on a 2-week holiday, it's just not going to be a sensible option for you. You're going to need to look at other alternatives. So overall, it's a real shame that the Sonic-Fusion hasn't panned out the way I hoped. It's got the basics there to make it a good product. Unfortunately, I just don't think Waterpik have hit the mark. And for most people, when you consider the price, features and functionality, going for separates is going to be a better option overall for your oral health, convenience and for your wallet. There's a full written review that accompanies this video. Click the link in the description for that. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.